Speaking of home favorites, I freaking love the Lions here.
What? Do you really?
Yeah, I do. And it's actually before I even started doing the research on it, uh, it just felt like the right side. They're the luck rankings favorite. They're the unlucky side in our luck rankings matchup. Look at Seattle. Their defense is amazing, and like they're ranked number one in the league according to a lot of different metrics from Pro Football Focus. But and the line has moved from 5.5 to 4.5 to 4. Like your
Hmm.
reaction to me is what the wise guys are doing, which is betting Seattle. Are they overvalued because they're undefeated? They've played a rookie QB in Bo Nix, a washed QB in Jacoby Brissett, a backup QB in Skylar Thompson. And don't forget, like the Broncos and the Patriots were very competitive games. Like, is their defense good enough to make Jared Goff continue to look bad? Like, do we think Detroit is just going to get physical? And as they had started to do against the Cardinals, like they beat a tough team on the road as a favorite in a spot they had to win. Feels like at this point, at 4, I didn't feel this way at 5.5. At 4, the value is on Detroit.
I'm on the other side, unfortunately. Yeah, I like the Seahawks. I
Oh
just
God.
you talk about the Goff though, man. It's like, okay, you played against Arizona, Tampa, and the Rams. Against the Rams, he only completed 18 passes and he had a pick and was sacked twice. Against Tampa, he did well, right? He threw for over 300 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He actually didn't get sacked. And against Arizona, he just once again he didn't do much. He had 2 touchdowns, which is like okay, great, and he had an interception and a sack. Where it's like with all the weapons they have, he should be doing more. That's my fear with him right now. It's just like something seems off with him. Where on the flip side, the Seahawks, you just said they've played 3 bad teams. 2 of those bad teams they beat up on a little bit, right? Like they kind of did what they were supposed to, and the Patriots game was much closer than they probably anticipated. So. I'm right there with you. Where it's like there's hesitation for me on Seattle, but I still have a lot of questions about this Detroit team. There's ways that they can use Seattle can use their offense to really attack this Detroit team secondary. We saw when they play against teams that can move the ball, there are ways to get around it. So you're asking why this number's come down. I think that's just the pros are kind of the same view of me, where it's like I make this 3.5. I'll take the 4. Plenty of books have already moved to 3.5 on this number, so it's like clearly professional money is going to keep coming in here. But I'll grab the 4 now, but hope that later as the week goes along, that more money will come on Detroit. Because you're right, Detroit, they're the better offense. They have the better coaching staff. They have the better defense. Like they should roll this team. I'm not so confident in the Goff right now. It just something seems a little off about him. He doesn't seem like he was last year, which was like he was playing at MVP level. Or this year, he doesn't seem like he's in rhythm. Neither does this Detroit offense.
That's a fascinating game. I mean, we're going to have to ask ourselves, do we just fade the public this week? Do we just bet that
Well, it's
do
going to
we
go the other way eventually. That's why
yeah.
it's like we don't ever blindly just fade the public here. As much as people are like, that's all these guys do. Then me and Chad would be fucking 15-0 this year if we just blindly did that. Which,
Well, we're not
um,
15-0.
yeah, but it's something we do take into account. Where it's like, it is a little scary when you're on the public side. And that's why we always want to mention that when we're talking about these lines. So I have no doubt Detroit will be the public side in this, right? They just covered last week, so it's like
Yeah.
people are going to be feeling pretty good about them. They feel like they're back. Where I'm still a little hesitant about Goff. I just don't think he's looked right this year.